Thank you. I know it's a great time to network and connect and talk to people that you haven't seen for a while. I'd like to welcome you to GRCC to honor 4 wonderful women today that have done a lot for the college and also our community. My name is Domingo Hernandez Gomez, and I am the director of the Woodrick Center for Equity and Inclusion here at GRCC, and it is my pleasure to welcome you this afternoon. Before we proceed with the program, I'd like to introduce members of our Board of Trustees who are here with us this afternoon. Mr. David Cucci, if you could stand. Ms. Cynthia Bristol as well. Thank you. Also, I'd like to acknowledge any public officials who are here with us this afternoon. If you would stand, please, and be recognized. Anyone? We don't have anyone. All right, thank you. I'd like to thank the Salute to Women Committee for their time and efforts in putting this great event for us to celebrate wonderful women today. Please join me in thanking Jennifer Smith as part of the team. Jennifer's over there. Christine Kuhn, it's in the back. Noah D. Smith in the camera. He's from media. Thank you, Noah. Kimberly DeBreeze. I don't know if you saw her. Emily Nicely. Emily Nicely. Thank you, Emily. And special thanks to Jennifer Smith, who coordinates all the logistics for this event, and also to our hospitality staff here at GRCC. Thank you for all the services that you've provided today. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge our previous recipients of the Salute to Women Award. If you would please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Once again, congratulations. To present the Salute to Women Award, I'd like to welcome Provost Chesley. She's going to be introducing and presenting the award to our Salute to Women this afternoon. Thank you.
Welcome, persons of quality. I'd like to take an opportunity to send a welcome to all of you on behalf of President Steve Ender, who couldn't be here today. I want you to know that he's a great supporter of this event and is sorry that he couldn't be here today, and sends all his best wishes to all of the winners and attendees. So we're ready? Okay. I'm afraid I'm going to knock this over, or I'm going to need it, one of the two. Welcome to this Salute to Women event. This special day at GRCC celebrates the achievements and contributions of women who are part of the GRCC family. Today, we will honor 4 women who embody the character and values of true leadership at both the personal and professional levels. The women who you will be meeting and celebrating today are people who have dedicated their lives with compassion and empathy to the service of others. They are role models, mentors, advocates, and agents of change. But most importantly, they are leaders who empower and inspire people through their actions. I am very proud to introduce them to you today. Our first honoree is Laura B. Moody. Laura, would you come forward? Laura is receiving the award for a current employee. And you have to listen, you have to stay here while I say nice things about you. Okay. We want you to stand right here. Laura holds degrees from the University of Michigan and Grand Valley State University. She has over 40 years of experience as a nurse and close to 20 years experience as an educator. She has dedicated a significant amount of her life to the service of others, both at the college and in the community. As a nurse, she helps individuals with limited resources to improve their quality of life, and she is a staunch advocate for healthcare equity and education. As an educator, she is a mentor to students, encouraging them to stay true to themselves and inspiring them to accomplish their life goals. Her personal motto is, "If I can help someone as I travel along the way, then my life will not be in vain." Congratulations to Laura B. Moody, a woman of service and advocacy.
If I could help somebody as I travel along the way, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I could help somebody as I travel along the way, then my living shall not be in vain. First of all, to the committee, to the nomination committee, to my husband, my sons, my church family, my nursing friends, to all of you out here today, my students, it is indeed an honor and a very humbling experience for me today. I always give God glory for all that he's done for me. And I want to say it's because of Grand Rapids Community College, where I started back a long time ago, and they helped me with my reading years and years and years ago after I graduated from University of Michigan. It's because of the impact they made on me, and I'm coming back now to be able to help some of the students, to be able to give back what I've gotten. People may not understand, but I always say, you don't know my story, and you'll never know my story. But the students are so important to me, and it's been an honor and a pleasure. So to all of you that are here today, again, I thank you. I'm very humbled by this experience, and thank you.
Awesome. We are off to a great start. Now I would like to welcome Chris Arnold to the podium. Chris is receiving the award for a former employee of the college, although retirement and Chris Arnold are not two words that go together. But technically, she is retired. So here she is. Chris has dedicated 37 years of her life to this college. She began here as a secretary, became the diversity coordinator, and she retired as the founding director of the Bob and Alicia Woodrick Center for Equity and Inclusion. Although she has officially retired, she is still supporting the capacitor, excuse me, I'm so excited. The center in a number of capacities, including as a consultant. Driven by her personal experience of exclusion, Chris has dedicated her professional career to developing programs that promote diversity and inclusion for the college and the community. She hopes to, quote, continue encouraging people to get out of their comfort zones and see opportunity to listen and learn from others. Her impact in our community is very deep, a testament to the quality of relationships she has built with people and organizations. She is a strong community servant and currently serves on the Student Advancement Foundation Board and advisory councils for Kent County, Varnum Law, and Blue Cross Blue Shield, and many others. Chris Arnold is a woman of dedication and community.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. And believe me, you do not want to hear me sing. Thank you, Laura. That was beautiful. It seems kind of surreal to be. I'm not going to do this, Jennifer. Cry, that is. It seems kind of surreal to be here in this role because for many years I was on the other end of this. So I said to Domingo, I'm going to have to stop myself from going up there and getting the program started. So again, good afternoon. I'm very humbled and honored to receive this award. And I would like to congratulate the recipients. Laura Moody, love you. Had the opportunity to work with you for many years, and I've always admired you. Nagechi, same with you. Everything that you're doing in the community is amazing. And Ed and Dita, congratulations to you, one of our wonderful students and leaders, and for all that you have done. And again, just wanted to acknowledge all the women here today. We are all strong women, and we all deserve a round of applause, right? So I had to write my stuff down so I remembered what I wanted to say. So I come from a very proud Mexican-American family, one of the first to settle here in Grand Rapids. A strong history. Let me just start again. Okay. A strong history of advocacy and social justice was instilled by our grandparents, Daniel and Lupe Vargas, for their many years of advocating for migrant workers and for justice in our Latino community. And back when we were growing up, there weren't that many Latinos in Grand Rapids, not like there are today. So there were a lot of challenges, as there still are today. I'd like to recognize my mom. She's not here, but she raised seven of us as a single parent. So you talk about strength and determination. And also, I have a brother that was in a car accident when he was a freshman in high school, and he is a quadriplegic, and my mom has cared for him ever since. So she is home with him today and wasn't able to be here. But I really wanted to acknowledge her, so I'm doing that. And 6 of the 7 of us are GRCC alumni, still trying to work on that last one, but. So we may not have had a lot of material things growing up, but we've always had a strong family and a large family and a loud family. I just asked my husband. It was the strong female role models and family support that made all the difference. As many of you know, GRCC has been a part of my life for the past 38 years, and yes, I'm only 5. And as Provost Chesley mentioned, starting as a secretary when GRCC was a part of the K-12 system, and I'm growing into various leadership roles along the way. One of those positions being in the Office of the Dean of Student Services under the leadership of Dean Elias Lumpkins, and he's here today. Many of the staple programs, such as the Diversity Lecture Series, the Martin Luther King program, and many of our other programs were because of Dean Lumpkins, Cedric Ward, and many others. So Dean, I love you. You've been more than just a colleague, you've been part of my family. So, in fact, he was one of the first ones there when Allison was born, you remember that? Yeah. So I love you, and I thank you for your support and all that you have done for our community and continue to do. I remember the first Diversity Lecture Series. Dean, do you remember there were only a few people there? And that was the case, during those first couple years. And I remember one thing that you said, Chris, it doesn't matter if there's one person here or if there's 100 people here. If one person walked away with some knowledge, then we've done what we set out to do. So thank you. I always remember that. So again, I've had the opportunity to learn and grow with my work in the center. Mentors, many mentors, both men and women. Again, Dean Lumpkins, Dr. Juan Olivares, Ann Mulder, and many others, and some of you which are in the room today. One of my proudest moments was the naming and endowment of the Bob and Alicia Woodrick Diversity Learning Center, now the Center for Equity and Inclusion. And I'd like to just thank Bob and Alicia Woodrick for their leadership and support of social justice in our community, and Alicia for her passion and advocacy for women. One of the main goals we had when establishing the center was to make people not only feel welcome, but celebrated. We wanted to make sure that everyone that walked into the center could see themselves reflected in one of the programs and the services that we offer. And I do believe that that has been the case, and we are all very proud of that. Now I'd like to just take a moment and acknowledge Jennifer Smith. Jennifer. So Jennifer, Dean, you remember, we hired her as a student assistant, back just a few years ago. And we always had to go find her when she was running errands. But anyways, I just really wanted to acknowledge Jennifer, because Jennifer, you've been part of the history of the center, and I love you and have appreciated your friendship and all that you have done and will continue to do. So, Jennifer. I also wanted to recognize someone who's not here today, and that's Kathleen Owens. Kathleen was a strong part of the center as well, so really wanted to acknowledge her. And she is living now in North Carolina and just enjoying her retirement, but she has not stopped advocating for justice. I've seen her marching in many marches and being very much a part of continuing, the legacy that she has here. Tamber, where are you? Tamber Bustins. Tamber, thank you. It's been about 10 years that Tamber was part of that as well. So Tamber, thank you. It's been great working with you, and certainly appreciate your passion for the training and the work that you do with our students. There are many others, and too many to name. Diversity team. I see lots of you here, and I love you guys, and it's been great working with you. And I do miss the diversity team, so I miss all you guys. So let me see. Again, these are all people that have been part of the foundation and continue to help make the work of the center possible. And there are a few men as well, too. Domingo Hernandez Gomez, it's been great working with you this last year, and we're in very good hands. I'm very excited to have been a part of assisting with this transition the last year, and I feel really good that there are a lot of great things happening with the alignment of the center under the academic wing of the college, and also want to acknowledge Dr. John Cowles. John, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see everybody out there, but thank you so much, John, for your leadership and all that you do for the college, and I've also appreciated working with you, and thank you. So I've been very fortunate that I've been able to learn from my mentors over the years and carry out this work that has been so much a part of who I am. One of the most vital components of change is education. It's imperative that we instill the importance of equity and inclusion in our youth so that they know it's not just the right way, but the only way for change to occur. We need to push our thinking, expose ourselves and our children to diversity in thought, opinion, and cultural differences. This is how we foster critical thinking. That is our responsibility as educators to prepare our students for our global world. I'd also like to encourage our leadership, our college leadership, to continue to make equity and inclusion a priority throughout the college campus, the policies, programming, and hiring practices. Our leadership and faculty need to reflect the diverse population that we serve. Our students need to have role models that look like them. I am thankful that I've had the opportunity to be a part of the history and legacy of GRCC and the Center for Equity and Inclusion. It has not only been my career, but a major component of my life, and I'm very fortunate for that. I'd also like to thank you all for being here today. My husband, Bob, yes, Bob does exist. And my sister Di, who's here and who also is in education. She's worked at Cesar Chavez School for many years. My sister Missy, who's an alumni and actually started her career here for a few years, working with Diane Patrick. And my other sister and other family weren't able to be here, but my cousin Marcella is here. And Marcella works with the court system and is very proud of the program you've just started for young girls. So thanks, Marcella, for all that you're doing. My daughter, Allison, many of you know, has grown up on the campus at GRCC, from attending the GRCC preschool, where's preschool? That was such a significant part of her life for 5 years. I still remember, well, she was kind of bad because she used to cry out. She was colicky and cried all the time. So, but anyway, she loved the preschool, and that, I believe, was such a strong foundation for her. And I can't say enough wonderful things about the preschool, and I'm so happy that the center is established, and I can't wait for Allie to come back and see it. But I see the strength and passion she has, the kindness, and can only think that the work that I have exposed her to has had a significant impact on her life. I am able to see how a strong line of mentors and role models can shape the success of our youth. And she's not here today because, as many of you know, she's at U of M, and she'll be graduating next month, and I'm very proud of her. She's overcome a lot of health challenges, and she's doing it, and we're very, very proud of her. So I am almost done, okay. So I came across this quote today actually on one of my friends' Facebook pages this morning, and it just seems so perfect for today. So I'll read that. Beginnings are scary, endings are usually sad, but it's the middle that counts the most. Try to remember that when you find yourself at a new beginning. Just give people a chance to float up, and it will. Just give hope a chance to float up, and it will. And I just thought that was so perfect. I feel as though GRCC has been my beginning and my middle, and I'm hopeful for the future of GRCC, our students and community. I am excited as I move on to my new next beginnings, and you'll be hearing more about that later. So again, thank you to each and every one of you for your support and commitment to GRCC, our students, staff, and community. I will continue to be a supporter and ambassador for GRCC, and will continue to do the work that has been such an important part of my life. Thank you. Oops.
We're continuing strong. I'd like to welcome Arendita Araso Alas to the podium, please. Arendita is the winner of our Student Award. We are delighted to have her here. Arendita is a determined young woman who embodies the spirit of resilience. Having survived painful circumstances in El Salvador, she came to the U.S. in 2007 to start a new life. Arendita worked diligently to learn English in GRCC's Adult Education ESL program and started classes at GRCC in 2014. But that's not all. She served as a GRCC student ambassador, a peer mentor in our TRIO program, and a facilitator for the Latino Youth Conference. She has been recognized on the President's List and the Dean's Lists, and she will graduate this year with an associate's degree. Ultimately, she plans to earn a master's degree in human resources. When I feel like I'm struggling, I try to push a little more. Push harder, Arendita says. If I set an objective, I'll work hard to get it. We have no doubt that whatever you put your mind to, you will get it. Please join me in honoring and celebrating Arendita Arazo Alas, a woman of determination and optimism. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. First, I want to thank everyone to have made time to be here today. I know everybody is busy, so I am grateful that all of you are present. It is a really an honor and wonderful be between such successful women. This award has been a really surprise for me. After I got a letter of the nomination, I contacted Jennifer Smith to ask about this speech. And I asked her, do I really have to make a speech? And she said, yes, you have to do it. And I didn't know where to start. Well, then I thought, why not to start since the beginning? Since 2014, Grand Rapids Community College has been a second chance to start over my academic path. I got into GRCC without knowing what a class credit meant. Then at my first semester, I got accepted to a student support service program. After that, I have experienced so many things. Many of those experiences has been good, and some of them has been scary. I must mention the most scary that I have, it was a public speaking. The first day that I got to the class, I just want to quit. I never told you that, Anna, but it's true. I remember when I got to the class and I heard people talking behind me and not be able to understand everything that they were saying. That scared me. And I just want to run away from that class. And the next day was the worst. But I still tried to make it. And the next day was worse because I saw the syllabus and I saw all those speeches that I had to make. Or I want to scare it to death. But I also have good experience. I have the opportunity to work as trio peer mentor. And it was in my second semester that I realized that I want to do something more than just come to class. And I applied for work as a student ambassador. After that, I applied for working as trio peer mentor, and they had me there, and I don't know how, but I am there. I had to say that standing here today will not be possible without the support of some people around me and behind me. My trio people who have been always support me, Ana Maria, Victoria Powers, and Magdalena Montesprit. And now, thank you, Tambert, for keep me telling me that I am good making presentation, even when I feel that I am not. And also for those people that are behind me, my family, even though they are not here today, they are there to rise me up when I feel that I'm falling. Being GRCC has represented some challenges and satisfaction. My biggest challenge was being out of my comfort zone. I came with any English, and be honest, I did not understand what they were telling me on my orientation day. I figured it out later. My satisfaction, well, take this day as an example. It is not satisfaction because my picture and my name is on the wall or because people can think that I am popular. My satisfaction is that I have the opportunity to inspire other women like me to have a second chance to start over again. I want to encourage them and let them know that anybody can stay on their way if they want to push hard. I want to inspire especially to all the Hispanic women who had the opportunity to continue with their education. I want to let them know, don't give it up. I started the Way to my degree in 2014, And now I'm graduated this semester, and I'm gonna be on Grand Valley State University on fall. And I only have to say to other women like me that start later in college, that it's never too late. And if I could do it, any woman can do it. Thank you.
I'm getting some themes from the words of all of our awardees today, themes of courage, commitment, and just sheer grit. And it's awesome to hear their stories. Our final recipient is Dr. Nkechi Ekere Eze. Dr. Nkechi, or Dr. Eze, would you come to the podium, please? Dr. Eze is receiving the GRCC Alumna Salute to Women Award. We are delighted that Nkechi found herself in the GRCC library back in 1986, looking through a brochure for the Child Development Program. She ended up finishing a child development degree here at GRCC, and later went on to earn her doctorate in education in child and youth studies from Nova Southeastern University. She's now an associate professor of education at Aquinas College, the director of the Early Childhood Endorsement Program, and the founder of the Early Learning Neighborhood Collaborative, an organization that works to increase the accessibility of early educational resources for vulnerable children. Dr. Eze finds strength in her roots as she works toward changing an inequitable system. She is passionate to ensure that all voices are at the table. She rightly declares, it's a problem when you don't have the people of color at the table when you're making decisions that will impact people of color. Please join me in commending and celebrating Dr. Nkechi Ekere Eze, a woman of passion and inclusion. Congratulations. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you so much. My daughter said, don't even think about singing. So I'm just going to keep my singing in the bathroom in my house, right? But thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Thank you so much for this award. I'm greatly humbled and honored. This really means so much to me. I must say that, though, that I know in my heart that if it weren't for the grace of God and the intercession of our Blessed Virgin Mary, I wouldn't be here right now doing what I'm doing. And I'm also grateful to the selection committee because I know there are so many women that deserve this award, but they chose me, so thank you so much. This award is huge for me, really. When I came to U.S. from Nigeria, very young, just living with my husband, we lived on Union Street right over there, and when my husband goes for work, I'm bored. I wasn't used to the soap opera. Man, I missed a lot. I wish I knew what I know now. I would just stay on that couch but I'll be just wandering around, taking a little step and coming back, a little step and coming back so I don't forget where I'm going. And I happened to dabble into GRCC library. When I came, though, to America, going to university wasn't wasn't never a question for me. However, the choice of the field that I enter was done out of a practical necessity when my daughter, Onyinye Eze, was on the way. So as I was taking my walk and just wandering and coming to the library and getting information, I dabbled on a brochure that said child development. I didn't know what that meant. I know that if you break it apart, I know what is a child, I know what a development is, but I never really knew what child development was all about. You see, in Nigeria, most of the things that we do with children is more from the rescue perspective, social work, rescuing them from one environment. But child development, what is that? That got me to start thinking about the child that was in my own stomach. How is she developing? What can I do to support that? So finding out about that child, the brochure really helped me solve the need of what field I'm going to get into, but also because I didn't have my families here, the opportunity to learn about child development and what I need to do. So I enrolled at Grand Rapids Community College and began my educational journey that has really challenged me and stretched me beyond what is possible. Thank you to GRCC instructor who unknowingly pushed me beyond my imagination. It is hard when you're from a different culture, taking a class, trying to understand the structure, trying to understand the text, trying to make meaning to what is going on. It's not that we don't know it, but your brain thinks in your first language. So it's extra hard for us to see that word and decode it and really say to yourself, this is what it really means, right? And then trying to put it back in English. So if you tell me, having bilingual brain, we go through more processes than just the monolingual people that are here, but we continue to do it. So the instructors forced me because some of the concept I had to do it over and over again. I remember one day I came home from school, and I wasn't too happy, and I sat down, and my husband came and said, what's the matter? And I said, well, I didn't have a good day today. My husband said, it's okay. Next time you'll have a good day. And I'm still sitting down there. My husband said, who's this person that really made God to you like that? I said, Caitlin. I'll never forget that name, but I said, Caitlin, and my husband said, well, that's okay. Caitlin will just learn how to move on and not upset, trying to make me feel good. And I'm still sitting there. My husband said, okay, who is this Caitlin? I said, Caitlin is 4 years old. And my husband said, well, wait a minute. A 4-year-old got you this down. I said, yep. And what did Caitlin do? And I said, well, Caitlin told everybody not to play with me because I talk funny. And my husband said, yeah, I can see that, but it's really how you look at it. Don't worry about it. Maybe Caitlin will learn to appreciate how you talk. So throughout the night, I spent the whole night thinking about my comeback to Caitlin. I say it because sometimes God has a way of doing things. My life is now dedicated to advocating for children, but it took Caitlin to strengthen me for who I am. Because the next day I was charged, I was ready for Caitlin. I knew that if I got to classroom early at GRC, not the beautiful site we have, the one, Janai, you know where we are. Yeah. If I figured, so my strategy was get there first, claim the space, because then I'm already standing there when Caitlin comes in. So Caitlin walks in with the mom, and Caitlin was like, I also figured, I know this is Women's History Month, but I figured that if I get the young boys on my side playing, with the cars are making noise, boys don't care because you're just playing with them, acting silly like that I'm okay. So Caitlin walked in and saw me playing with the boys, having fun, and Caitlin, like, I told you not to play with them. So I whispered to the boys, don't mind Caitlin. And Caitlin now is excited, wanted to know what I said. And I said, well, if I say, you won't understand it because I talk funny, right? And Caitlin said in childlike way, oh, I will. I said, you sure? Because I have a special way of talking. So anyway, it's really interesting how my work have revolved around children because of Caitlin. I really want to, I did not make this journey alone. Numerous people have supported me along the way. First, I want to really acknowledge my father. My father meant a lot to me. He was my mentor. He was my life coach. Growing up in a country, Nigeria, where women are really not put up, my dad knew the kind of daughter that he had and made it his lifetime passion, really, and commitment to protect me, to harbor me and take care of me and all that. So he taught me to really work hard and never settle for less, or to accept the status quo, but to always challenge myself and old ideas, especially when they don't appear to be working. I want to thank my mother, my Nigerian African mother, because she stood behind the scene, gently nudging me forward and giving me her silent permission. You have to understand the nods that mothers in Africa give to their kids to continue doing what you're doing, because saying it publicly means, oh, you're disrupting the system. I don't use that nods with my kids because they probably will say, Mom, something wrong with your eyes? But my mom will always do like this, like, keep talking, or I can hear you, you know. But when somebody looked at my mom, she would be the good wife, you know, but she already pushed me out there to do that. She also encouraged me to embrace my own unique self and create my own path. Unfortunately, both my parents are not alive to see me now, but I can truly feel their spirit, and I really do. And I vow to continue to work hard and to always make them proud. So, Mom and Dad, this is for you. To my coaches, I come from a culture where village means a lot to us. And God has really blessed me and have put people in my village. I have my own village here in America, people that are supporting me. I have, and there are too many of them to name, but just a few of them. Nadia Brigham with the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Audrey Mayfield, was a former employee of Grand Rapids Community College. Audrey did a lot for me professionally without even knowing that. So thank you, Audrey. Mary Trice, Dr. Vida Tucker, Sharon Killebrew, Shanae Edmond Verley, and all my sisters out there. You know who you are, and you continue to support me and lift me up. To Dr. Margot Clifford, Reverend Sister Mary Navarra, and the Dominican Sisters, who really allowed me to use the Dominican Sisters, my second home. To Dr. Jim Garofalo from Aquinas College, they exposed me to the world of academia and tried to shelter me from unintentional bias. Even as much as we know in higher institutions, there are still a lot of bias. You would think there would not be. To President Olivares and my dean at Aquinas College for their continued support and letting me to balance my two brains. People always say, wow, you teach at Aquinas College, you do this work with children. I have to balance my brain. Aquinas give me the theory, and ELNC in the community give me the practice. I want to make sure that what we're talking about teaching our students are really, we're living that out with our children. So thank you so much. And then to W.K. Kellogg Foundation for giving me the platform to advocate for vulnerable children. I felt like what W.K. Kellogg Foundation did, I'm always loud, but I felt like they gave me a big megaphone to really continue to advocate for children and not to be and to be unapologetic about it. We have to find a different way of solving our problem, but I feel like at this time we cannot continue to be apologizing that we are giving other people's children what we deserve, we give our own children. What is most amazing to me is that Kellogg Foundation was willing to invest resources and time that was needed to develop my emerging leadership skill. There is a Nigerian proverb that says, when a dying man cries, it's not because of where he is going, which he knows nothing about, but because of what he wishes he would have done in the world he's leaving behind. In today's American version, it simply means my bucket list, my professional bucket list. I think my professional bucket list started in 2010 when I was given the incredible opportunity by Kellogg Foundation to help shape a new system to ensure that our most vulnerable children were able to access quality learning opportunities. It looked like this, and I was scared, but I knew that with God on my side, it can be done. I was supposed to lead a collaborative process to address the lack of access to quality preschool for vulnerable children in the core city of Grand Rapids, number one. Number two, you have to leverage the funding. You have to bring in state funding once we give you this money. Number three, you have to move the nodal, the state-funded 3-year-old preschool Number 4, you need to develop a model that utilizes a 2-generation approach to learning, because sometimes we don't pay attention to our parents. And number 5, to design and implement a pipeline for teachers of color. I am sad to say that as I stand here receiving an award, even Grand Rapids, I say like it is, guys, even with Grand Rapids Community College and Aquinas College and Grand Valley State, all the local colleges here, I'm very, very disappointed to lack of people of color that continue to instruct our future teachers and future nurses and future professional careers out there. So we got to do a little bit more about that. And then lastly, to bring federal funding to our targeted neighborhood. I'm happy to say that last week, I have really accomplished my bucket list because ELNC received $1.95 million in federal grant. I say all that to say that Grand Rapids Community College planted the seed and laid the foundation that allowed me to accomplish the above. Grand Rapids, my time with Grand Rapids Community College was more like when you pour into a child. It was my formidable years here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they helped me accomplish that. As Nkechi Eze, a Nigerian-born woman, daughter, wife, and mother, this award is more than a professional accomplishment for me. It is personal. I feel that with this award today, I have come full circle to Grand Rapids Community College, and for that, I say glory be to God. A special thank you to my own very children. One of them is here. The other ones were not able to make it. So Onyinye MK, Obinna, KK, Nena, and Nikki Eze, who unknowingly became my child development lab students. They allowed me to test out child development theories on them. What happened is that when I was going to Grand Rapids Community College, I knew who I was when I came here. But the textbook did not have any child that looked like me. Anytime the textbook had children, it was children that are malnourished, that are children that are dying, and my brain struggled in terms of, that's not how African children look. So I would literally take the textbook and I'll put the children on high chair and say, baby, you gotta do this. You gotta show them that black children can do this. So I tried all the child development theories on my children. And they have to keep doing it until they get it right, because I needed to walk into school tomorrow holding my head high, being proud, because I knew who I was, even if they didn't know that. So it was very important to me. So I thank my children for that. They are still making, they made sacrifices, and they're still making, because they're allowing me to mother other people's children. My children are my heart, and I carry them in my heart every day. And to my husband, Pius Eze, also an alumni of Grand Rapids Community College. Honey, God gave you to me because he knew I needed you to complete me. My husband balances me because he's more reflective and more quiet, and you know who I am. So I remember one time I was just talking to him. I come home and I wanted to have like back and forth. I'm talking and I said, honey, I'm talking to you, but you're not talking back. And he said, we can only have one crazy person in the house. And you got that. So, but seriously, thank you for your continued support. I love you. Last but not least, I want to thank all of you who believed in me, one way or the other. Jenna and Benson, you have always been a support for me when we do our system level work. And to all of you that I can possibly name, because my kids are looking at me already saying, wrap it up. So thank you so much, and very much for this award. I accept this award on behalf of vulnerable children all over the world. And with this award, I renew my commitment to never stop making myself, my family, my parents, and all that have supported me, and especially GRCC, proud. Thank you so much.
So many important messages from our 4 honorees. I'm taking from Dr. Eze Be unapologetic about your advocacy. I love that. Please join me in a final round of applause for 4 amazing women. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Kathy Mullins, GRCC's Vice President for College Advancement and the Executive Director of the GRCC Foundation, to give us some concluding remarks. Kathy?
I think these women need one more round of applause. And before I get started, Dr. Pink walked in a little late. He flew in from Washington, D.C. this morning, so I just want to make sure everybody sees him and welcome him and say hello. So these amazing women that we just heard from, their leadership and tenacity make this community a better place for us all. Anyone that has heard me speak before knows that I am a true believer that GRCC creates our community leaders of the future. As I listen to today's honorees, I am more certain than ever that GRCC has always done this important work. These women are leaders in our community in every sense of the word. They understand the importance of their community college education and how that education contributed to the success of not only themselves, but to the success of their families. And I know that if we as a community are going to encourage future female leaders, we must come together to support women in their quest for higher education. The easiest way for everyone in this room to do that is to make a donation to the GRCC Foundation in support of scholarships. This is a quote from Jennifer Buffett that truly hits home for me as to why our philanthropic support of scholarships is critical. The most radical way to advance meaningful change is to shift economic, social, and cultural power to those who don't have it. And that is why I support the advancement of education of women. Through your donation to the Salute to Women Scholarship, you are doing exactly that. You are advancing meaningful change by creating a structure of support in the form of scholarships that allows women to pursue higher education that will ultimately change the quality of life of entire families. The power of meaningful change lays right there on your individual tables in the form of a donation envelope. If you have been moved as much as I have today by the impact that GRCC has made in the lives of these women, and in turn, the impact these women have made in our community, I ask that you donate to the Salute to Women Scholarship Fund. Thank you very much. And again, another round of applause for these amazing women.
Thank you again for joining us this afternoon in celebrating and honoring these inspiring women. And as you heard them say about or mention their story, it is very inspiring. Can we give them one more round of applause, please? And yes. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. For the recipients, if you could stay for a minute for a group picture, that'd be great. Thank you.